Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you guys how to accomplish a full makeup look step by step. If you want to skip through anything, I've separated them into sections and put the time where they begin right in the description below. Before applying any product on your face, you want to start with a clean slate. Off camera, I washed my face and I moisturized. So let's get into it. I'm going to be taking my brow pencil from LA Girls and I'm going to brush in my eyebrows into place. Oh yes. And now during this process, I already have brows, so I focus on filling in my brows. But if you do not have brows, it's still going to be the same techniques. I'm going to be starting towards the end and I'm going to be filling in those areas that I don't grow a lot of hairs at the end, doing this with heavy strokes to make sure that pencil shows. You want to keep the shape of your brows. You do not want to create a new shape. So using the guideline that I created at the end, I'm not going to connect it to the midsection of my brows. Now, in the front of my brows, I'm trying to bring my brows closer together because they're kind of too far, and if you put on foundation, they'd get further apart. So I'm going to be using light upward strokes to kind of create fake hairs in the front of my brows to make it seem that hair is growing out from there, and also filling out any place that I do not have hair in. This would be the same technique for anyone who doesn't have a lot of brows. I'm just bringing you guys closer so you guys can see everything I've done. See, my brows are not arched. They're, they're hanging in there, but she gets the job done. So you start from the end. And after you fill out the end, you want to connect from middle to end, keeping the shape of your brow. Don't try to create another shape. And then you do the same thing on the bottom. In the front, light upward strokes to mimic hair and fill out anything else that looks empty. And voila. Next, I'm going to be picking up my concealer brush. I'm going to move up close for you guys. And I'm going to take concealer and put it as close to that guideline that I've drawn on my brow, as close to the brow that I've created. I'm just lifting up my brow in order for my skin to be tight enough so I can direct that concealer where I want it to go. That concealer should go right beneath that brow line that you've created, as close as possible to it. You want to not touch any hair that's engulfed inside that brow line that you created, but anything outside of that is free game. Now I'm going to be pressing the concealer with that brush and pulling it in order to blend it. Remember, please do not try to create another shape. Just follow the shape. Putting concealer cleans out your brows and make them pop more. So you don't have to worry too much while you're drawing them in, as long as you're keeping to the shape of your brow. What you want to do when you're putting on the concealer is making sure that you're not messing up that shape that you created.
It's Jimmy on the bed. It's Jimmy on the bed.
Next, we're going to move on to eyeshadow. Because this is supposed to be a beginner's look, I'm gonna do a mono shadow look. To begin, I'm gonna grab my eye primer from e.l.f., not a concealer because they crease on your eyes, and I'm going to use my hand to blend that into my eyelid. Eye primers usually help your eyeshadows pop out more, and this is going to be a mono eyeshadow, meaning only one color, so I want that color to really pop when I put it on. Next, I'm going to be grabbing my Morphe eye palette and I'm going to put the name below, I think it's 9C. I'm going to be taking that shade and putting it right above my crease, blending downwards and side to side. I am not going to be going above that natural crease line that I have. I've seen so many people make this mistake where they put on mono shadows and they put it all over their eyelid up onto their eyebrows, and guys, it kills me. I'm going to blend that back and forth, side to side, and going downwards because I don't want anything to pass my natural crease. That just looks too messy when you do that. To fill up my lid, I'm taking that same color and just patting it instead of rubbing it. And then there goes your mono shadow. Next, I'll be taking a highlighted shade from that palette and placing it right where my arch of my brow begins. That's how you highlight underneath your brow, not all over. And then I'm going to take my finger and blend that in so I can warm it up into my skin. You don't want your brow highlight to be too harsh, especially if you're a beginner. This is a mono shadow. This is not a dramatic eye look. So you want to look neutral as possible. And voila. Grab your eyelash, and within that band, you're going to place your glue and set it on your table. Next, you're going to take mascara in order to bring out your lashes so you can see where your lash line actually is. Your lashes are supposed to go inside your lash line. I'm then going to take a tweezer and place it in the center of my lash line as close as I can. Then I'm going to use my fingers to bring it down to that lash line. That's where you want your lashes to go. You don't want your lashes to go on your eyelid. You want it to go as close to your lash line as possible, which is why we put the mascara on initially, so we can determine where our lash line is and also not glue down our own lashes. Also, please let that mascara dry before you proceed to glue the lashes on because it might affect your eyes. I'm speaking from experience. An important step to makeup is your foundation. You want a smooth foundation that lasts through the whole day. To begin, I start with a mattifying primer because I have oily skin and textured skin. Next, I'm going to be going in with a translucent powder in order to cover up some of my visible pores. I'm kind of using my beauty blender and pressing that powder into my skin. You want to use a transition powder for this method because it's very fine and it goes into your pores easily. Doesn't crease also, and it's not as heavy. Also, if you do not have textured or very visible pores, this method is not for you. You can skip this method, put on the primer and move to foundation. But because I have visible pores and I want a flat surface to begin, I use this in order to flatten the surface of my skin. I know I look like a ghost, but I'm telling you guys, this is all gonna come together. Like, this is the slay. This is so flawless skin, airbrush skin. Like, I got y'all. I'm gonna be grabbing my foundation. I'm gonna be listing it in the description box below. And placing it all over my skin. I use more than one pump of foundation, guys. Like, I go in. I want full coverage. I use a brush to blend my foundation in because it gives me ultimate coverage. You can use a beauty blender, which I used to love, but I found that brushes give more coverage. when you do use a brush, the common mistake I notice people do is they kind of rotate their brush on your skin. No, you want your makeup to stay in place exactly where you put it. So you want to tap that foundation into your skin like you would use a beauty blender, especially for people with textured skin. That's how you get full coverage, and that's how you cover up some of that texture. You pat that foundation into your skin. Please don't rub, please don't smudge in any process, in any skin process when it comes to makeup. I want my neck to match my face because my neck is kind of darker than everywhere else. So I'm just gonna add foundation and, you know, let her do what it does. After foundation, I like to move on to concealing and contouring, or as people call it, highlighting and contouring. This part is so important because I see so many people post videos on their IG stories with the wrong method of contouring. You want to start at the tip of your eye and draw it down. If your nose is not part of that tip of your eye, you don't need to worry about catching your nose. After you do that, you have to decide, do you want a wide contour to make you look like Beyonce? Or do you want a slim contour to make you look chiseled like Kim K? Because I want a slim contour, I'm going in a triangular motion. My face is not wide nor slim like Kim Kardashian, so I'm trying to make it slimmer than it actually is. You want to draw as thin of a line as you can going in the middle of your nose. And the top of your forehead, do you want to widen it or do you want it to look slim? Because I want the top of my forehead to look slim, I'm kind of going in a downward triangle motion. For my chin, I want that to pop because I think she's cute. So I'm just putting a little concealer there. I'm going to blend out this concealer with the same brush I use for my foundation. That's very helpful. This prevents from flashback, and it also helps you blend and melt that concealer into your foundation because you already have some foundation on that brush. You want to make sure that you're only blending that concealer where you place it. Now, depending on what type of contour you're going for, like I said before, if you're pulling the concealer as you're blending it, please don't pull it.
It's Jamie Icepeak on the beat.
Patting that concealer in will make it spread naturally without you having to pull your makeup out of place. It's going to take a long time to blend in your concealer. Please do not rush this because you're going to go out there looking crazy. Like, I'm trying to give y'all MUA tips. Like, you know, I'm trying to give y'all MUA tips. Don't drag that concealer and don't rush the blending. This is very important. On this side, on one side I have, I guess the left side I have less concealer than I did on the right because I wanted to do half of a full coverage and the other half a medium coverage. You do not need that much concealer. They're both going to blend out the same. The one on the left is going to cover up my eyes more, my eye bags. Blend everything. Don't be scared, okay? Just blend. Next, I'm going to take in my Sacha Buttercup Translucent Baking Powder, and I'm going to put it everywhere that I put that concealer, sis. I'm putting this powder, especially if you have oily skin. Now, for my girls who do not have oily skin, do not follow everything that I'm saying to a T in terms of the powder. If you do have oily skin, please put that baking powder on top of that concealer. This also prevents it from creasing underneath your eye. Makes your makeup last longer if you're spending all day out with makeup. So you want to go right ahead and place that Sacha Buttercup everywhere you place that concealer. The next thing we're going to get into is cutting the cheek. This makes your face look more chiseled and brings out your contour. So it's like a reverse contour. You want to suck in your cheek and go from the bottom of your earlobe to the end, to the tip of your mouth. I mean, my bad. So I have small ears, so that I can't do the bottom of my earlobe because my ears are terribly small and that's the whole ear. So I'm going to take my Black Radiance contour palette and using the light contour shade, contouring my nose because I don't want any harsh lines. I'm also going to be taking the dark contour shade to contour my cheeks, to know where to contour, suck in your cheekbones, and that line that shows, you go ahead and place that right above your reverse contour. I like to do my jawline in order to bring it out more and give me more of that chiseled look. And I also like to contour my forehead because it's a habit that I formed. I don't know where I got that from. I don't think this is necessary, but I do it anyways because I like to waste product. You feel me? So, and that's it for contoured and highlighted. The most important part of makeup is blending. Before I start blending, I'm going to take my Sacha Buttercup and place it on my brows to set them and remove any excess oil, and then I'm going to brush them. This will make your brows last for the whole day. And then I'm going to be taking a blending brush, and instead of dragging that powder out of my place, for my people with oily skin, I'm going to be kind of tapping that in. Tap and drag, but not pulling. You understand what I mean? Please don't pull. So I'm kind of tapping that in and lightly dragging that off my face. But I want it to stay because I want my makeup to last. And I'm also going to kind of blend in that nose contour because we do not want any harsh lines. Yeah, sis, come through. Look at how chiseled I'm looking already, guys. Blending is so important. Blending is so important. My reverse contour, I like to blend in a circular motion because I have no texture on that part of my face. So I'm blending in a circular motion to kind of blend in that contour also. And because I don't want any harsh line from that reverse contour. Remember, I also contoured my chin, so I took that blending brush there. Yep, I took it there. I took it there, and I'm going to take it anywhere because that's who I am. Okay? And I'm also blending in that nose highlight with the Sacha Buttercup and everywhere else that I placed that powder. To lock in my makeup even more and to maximize my blending, I'm going to be taking my finishing powder from MAC. I'm going to be listing which color I'm using. And with a buffing brush, I'm just going to be slowly blending that into my face, tapping and yet blending, but not too hard because I still don't want to move my makeup. You notice I barely go under my eye because I kind of have that powder there that I kind of just tapped off. So I don't really need any more powder underneath my eyes. But if I find that it's too light, I would go under there with that powder just to warm it up a bit. But other than that, I don't usually go under my eye with this powder. This can ensure that my makeup would last. My blush brush, and place it along the lines where I contoured my face. In order to make sure my blush isn't as harsh, I went ahead with that powder brush without adding extra powder and kind of smoothing that out. I don't put on highlight when I'm going out because I have oily skin and eventually that oil will break through. So I don't want to be looking like a glazed donut all the time. But anyways, I'm setting my face with MAC's Fix Plus and another mattifying setting spray. I use 2 setting spray. MAC's Fix Plus kind of like brings everything together, and the mattifying spray kind of makes my makeup last for as long as it can. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. If you have any further questions about some makeup mistakes you think you're making, you can always DM me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, follow me on Snap, like DM me anywhere and I can help you out. I'm really good at letting people know what their possible mistake could be when it comes to makeup. I hope to see you guys next time. Please subscribe, okay guys? Like, y'all watching my videos. I don't know how 100 and something people are watching my videos, but I only got 20 something subscribers. Like, what is going on? Subscribe to my channel, like, or else I'm going to want to fight. Like, meet me outside of somewhere, you know? No, really guys, I really appreciate the love, but please subscribe so we can get bigger and have more tips. I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.